us from Singapore now is James Dorsey. He's an adjunct senior fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. James, let me ask you, has Russia changed its strategy here? It has vastly more firepower than Ukraine, but as we've heard, its ground advances into Kiev appear to be slowing.
Well, I think it's changed its strategy by definition. Russia had expected this to be quick and dirty. It's not being quick and dirty, and therefore they are changing strategy. I think what you're seeing is two things. One is on the one hand, a slower, more considered approach towards the capital, Kiev, and the attacks that we've seen on Lviv. And Lviv is important because that's one of the supply routes in. And obviously, the more that the Russian troops get bogged down, the more that the Ukrainians are able to hold up their resistance, the more the Russians will want to shut down those supply lines.
US President Joe Biden has warned China not to support Russia. Just how important is China in this geopolitical crisis?
Potentially, China is very important. For starters, it is, of course, the second largest economy and increasingly a major power, and therefore it has weight. Add to that it has a very close relationship with Russia. Russia and China, for all practical matters, are allies. Supposedly, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin are very close. So China is, in de facto, Russia's foremost lifeline. And the question is to what degree the Chinese are going to be willing to throw Vladimir Putin a rope. They don't want their companies to be sanctioned by the United States for violating sanctions against Russia. And they've been very careful to try and keep their companies aloof, on the sidelines of that. Also, what's happening in Ukraine is a dilemma for China. China upholds the principle of non-interference in the affairs of its neighbors. It upholds the principle of non-violent solutions to differences and problems. It actually fundamentally does not want to change the existing world order. It wants to rebalance power within that, but it doesn't want to change it in the way that Russia does. So China's in a really difficult position. And I think in that sense, what the US and the Chinese are discussing is of the utmost importance.
James Dorsey, always wonderful to have your analysis. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.